Well, it's not only a new week, it's not only Monday, it's a new era, Aira, right? Hey, Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. So glad you're here. Hope you had a good weekend, and thanks to all of you who joined us on our Facebook and YouTube pages for the movement of both the Sun and Pluto into Aquarius. That was just fun, and it was great to do all of that together with you, and I really appreciate it. And I'll tell you, it doesn't take long for us to test this out because right away, now remember, if you look at the chart today, the Sun and Pluto are right there. As the Sun comes up, Pluto is right there. It's really worth casting a chart and setting it to your sunrise just to look at it because it is really incredible. That makes Pluto the Oracle Planet. Now, the Oracle Planet, of course, that's the one that rises above the horizon just before sunrise, just before the sun. In my observation in doing these episodes and looking at charts and observing for myself, is that it's not a major drumbeat theme in our lives. I think it's more relevant for your natal chart than it is for a transiting chart. And just from my own perspective, Mars is my Oracle Planet, but it's also glued to my Sun at the same degree in Scorpio. So when I look at all the Mars characteristics in my life, especially trying to push the overdrive all the time, is that because Mars is the Oracle Planet? Or is it because it's glued to the Sun? Or is it because both of those are in Scorpio, which is all about intensity? See, I can't break it down. But just over the last, it's been months, 6 weeks, something like that, Mars has been the Oracle Planet until now. How many of you have felt internal conflict? How many of you have felt family conflict? How many of you have just felt that stuff is off? Could that be because Mars is the Oracle Planet? Something to think about. And now Pluto is the Oracle Planet, so maybe one of the subtleties of this chart that not a lot of people are probably looking at, by the way, is will we exhibit some of these Pluto characteristics amplified because it is in that elevated position? And if so, what's that going to look like? Well, we'll get to see together. Now, yes, the curiosity got the cat, and I had to look ahead to see how long is it going to be in that position, all the way up through February 5th. So about 3 weeks? Not quite. And then Mercury takes over. That goes until the end of February, and then interestingly enough, Saturn, because the Sun will have moved enough through Pisces that Saturn will become the Oracle Planet right after Mercury. We're going to keep an eye on this because obviously we're in such interesting times anyway now that we'll just be picking apart these little nuances and seeing how they contribute. We'll just watch because we are in a new era. AIRA. You guys are going to be saying AIRA, AIRA. It's like become a theme word around here. Now, we get to put the new era to the test again tomorrow morning early because at 3:50 tomorrow morning, Venus enters Capricorn from Sagittarius. And that puts it right at that 0 degree point. Now, 0 degrees of anything is going to aspect 0 degrees of Aquarius in some kind of way. This one, because it's right next door, happens to be a semi-square. And it brings Capricorn right back into us again for a few weeks, doesn't it? So again, we'll watch. We're in a new era. The other two things happening between now and Thursday are 2 lunar changes. One is today. The moon is in the later degrees of Gemini as you're getting up this morning. The last aspect is an opposition to said Venus, and that happens at 3:40 this afternoon Eastern. It's just over an hour because the moon moves into Cancer at 4:50 p.m. Eastern. So that's a good thing, goes home, but let's pick this aspect apart because the moon's sitting at 0 degrees, which it will do every 2.5 days thereabouts, roughly, will be hitting 0 degrees Aquarius, and there sits Pluto all year. Now, if you're following our little lunar pattern of the last aspect is the theme of the ingress, well, that's the opposition to Venus, so that's a little bit challenging. And also, when it hits 0 degrees Cancer, that will be an inconjunct or a quincunx. Steve Forrest mentioned it's not quincunx. That would be sloppy grammar. It's quincunx, inconjunct. I think that's what Robert defaults to. It's an inconjunct. It's 150-degree aspect, and that also has tension built in. Now, let's don't blow this out of proportion. This is the moon. It travels fast. This is a moment. Just might feel a little bit of as it's happening this afternoon, and if you do happen to pick up on it, it will pass quickly. So speaking of a 2-day rhythm, the moon is in Cancer at home late tonight, all day tomorrow, and most of Wednesday, because the last aspect before the void, of course, will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Wednesday, and then it enters Leo in the early morning hours of Thursday. That's a longer void, of course. See, things are shifting. You can already see it even right there. That's an 8.5-hour void, of course. And that last aspect, if you want to play with this moon thing, is a trine to Neptune. So if you want to play that, then from this evening, all day tomorrow, and all day Wednesday until late Wednesday, well, until actually early Thursday morning, is a good window, prime window with the moon, especially related to anything spiritual, spiritually related, intuition related, pulling the mask off of the old Lone Ranger kind of thing. If you want to know the truth, good time to do it right in through here. Think of the positive sides of Neptune. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm traveling and kind of don't know what I'm up against here as far as schedule and anything else. So let's say that I will be back at worst case Thursday morning, best case Wednesday morning, and let's just see how it goes. Give me a couple of days off here to just focus on the business at hand. All right. Thank you so much. What a wonderful time this is, especially to be following the sky as our guide above, giving us all these clues and insights, and we just have the privilege of interpreting it. So we'll keep our eye on the new era. Have a great couple of days. I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye.